Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Brunch with Gisela. Well, if you live on the East Coast, it seems like winter will just not let us go. I mean, would you believe it? We had on Friday, we had another inches of snow. God, we're all so very tired of it. I bet you all are too if you live here. But if you live on the West Coast, you have no snow or no rain. That's not good either. Well, I guess we can't do anything about the weather. I don't guess that. I know so. So, why don't we talk about things that we can do something about? One, as we have a new format now that is, I'll talk a little bit about beauty, I'll talk a little bit about pets, and some with green living. And so I'm going to start with beauty because that is one thing that really concerns me. And I'm a girl and I love beauty and I love mascara and lipstick and creams and so on. And I fight the entire 9 yards not to show my age. So if you're like me, then these few tips and these things that I'm going to be talking to you about, you will appreciate. One is every girl loves long lashes. And please, as always, if you have a question, just type it in. Go to the chat box. We will not solicit your email. We will not in any way contact you. Just pipe in. Amnon will relay your message, and I will answer to the best of my ability. So, coming back to lashes, eyelashes, that is. I love long eyelashes, and we all do. And there are very many products on. Everybody promise you, oh, use this mascara, and you have the most glorious eyelashes in the world. Use this product, and it will grow your eyelashes. Do this, do that. I mean, a multimillionaire would go broke buying all these things that they advertise. But here I'm going to give you a few little hints. How you can do this for pennies or no money at all. How you can have beautiful lashes. And I don't know if you can see it, but my lashes are really a very nice length. And they're full and they're nice. And I don't spend any money for it. One thing is you can go and buy just castor oil. Castor oil you can buy for pennies in the drugstore. Comes in a small little bottle. In the evening, you take a soft brush and you brush your eyelashes with that. Be sure not to use too much because you could have a swelling under your eye from the oil, or it could irritate your eyes. But if you use just a small amount, a drop on the brush, work it real well into the brush and then brush your eyelashes. But before you do that, you wash your eyelashes. Most people don't do that. You know who told me that? An optician. I went and had my eyes checked, and he said, "Oh, you have such beautiful eyelashes. Do you wash them?" And I said, "What do you mean, wash them?" And I said, when I wash my face, I guess my eyelashes get washed too. He said, no, no, no. Really use, when you have your soap or whatever, put it into and brush it against your lashes and really wash them. And then rinse them real well. And he said, your eyelashes will be much nicer. I said, oh, that's a good thing. So that evening, I tried it. This was a couple of years ago. And I've done it ever since. Every evening, I wash my mascara out of my eyelashes because the mascara is made with polymers. And these polymers will dry out the lashes, and then they break. And then you have short lashes instead of long lashes. So, little tip to the wise, wash your eyelashes. And boys, you can do that too, if any of the guys are listening, because, one of the things is that the eyes are the windows to us. And if you have dreamy long eyelashes and dreamy eyes, the girls like to look into those. So it's not just for the women, also the men. And use a little bit of castor oil on a brush, soft brush. That'll work every time. You don't have to buy $60 or $70 or $150 Latisse or whatever. This will not harm you, neither your pocketbook nor your lashes. Coming to skin. We are seeing on the internet, I mean, I'm on the internet all the time, and I see what is out there. And God almighty, everybody promises you younger looking, 10 years younger looking overnight, and 20 pounds less weight if you take this pill. Well, if you believe it, then I guess then you have to pay for it. But I know that is not going to be possible, because most of you do know that I'm also an esthetician, right? I'm a licensed skincare practitioner, and I do know that. And everybody always says to me, God, Gisela, you have such beautiful skin. What do you do? Well, I make my own creams. And now, for the first time ever, and my clients who come to me and I treat their skin, I've always been making their creams. And then I told them about this show, and I said, well, and they said, well, why don't you talk to people about your creams? I bet you could make the creams for them too. I said, well, I have to know a little bit about their skin, but it stands to reason. Look at every lab makes a cream, either with chemicals or without. It's a natural cream, not so natural cream. And they make thousands of them. Do you think that these creams are for each individual? I mean, everybody has a different skin. It doesn't matter if it's your sister or your mother. She has a different skin. So you want to treat it in an individual basis. And it's more and more coming to that we want to be treated in an individual basis. And if you go to my website, thebeautygroup.org, you can contact me, or you can contact me over My Life, My Will. I will email you back, and we would start a conversation, and I can make a cream for you. It will be in the realm of affordability. It depends on what I put into it. But I can guarantee you everything is under $100. I don't believe that creams should be $200 and $300. I don't care what they advertise, unless it's pure gold that you put on your face. I don't believe a cream should cost that much. And it doesn't have to. I can make it for you for a lot less. And most of it is around the $50 round, probably. So if you're interested in that, contact me. I'll be glad to converse with you. And that doesn't cost a thing. And a sample of your cream will only be $10 plus shipping. So you really don't miss anything. So enough with the commercial. But I really do think that all of us can have beautiful skin. And talking about weight, we have talked about weight for many times, but, do not ever believe anybody who tells you within 2 weeks you can lose 20 pounds. If you do, you risk your health. So please don't believe that. Do it in a manner that your body can absorb it. There are many ways of doing it, and now we have ultrasound that will liquefy the fat in your belly, and that you can go to a spa or a doctor who will perform that. It costs about $2,000 to do that. Will it stay away? Mm-mm, no. Fat cells don't disappear. You're born with an amount of fat cells, and they don't really increase or decrease. What they do is they are added in size. So if a fat cell is this size, then you're slimmer. But when you eat more and more fat is stored in the cell, then the fat cells get bigger. And that's when we also get that lumpy look on the thighs and on the buttocks and even on the belly and on our arms. That's because the fat cells have really engorged themselves and stored a lot of fat in it. Why is that? Because our bodies are meant to guard against famine. Because in the old days, when we evolved, there was not enough food around. And in many countries, that's still the fact. And when there is not enough food around, the body takes the fat that is stored, if there's fat stored. Once you get to the point of where there's no more fat, then the body will start to use the lesser organs, organs that the body thinks it doesn't really need that much. And then we will, until the point of where you expire. But that is how this whole weight thing works. So if you use any kind of a pill that dissolves the fat in a very fast manner, then your lymphatic system, your kidneys and liver will not be able to absorb and process all of that very quickly, and you can get very ill. So be aware of that. If you use, for coming back one more time to creams, there are a lot of the retinol creams out that a lot of people are using. Well, retinol is really just a topical irritant. What it does, it irritates the top layer of the skin, and then the lower layers of the skin, they recognize that there's an injury really up on top. And some fibers and some more cells are created to remedy that damage. Well, in reality, you keep exfoliating the skin with retinol, and not such a good idea. If you use a cream that has glycolic acid, the same thing as retinol. Glycolic acid is just a lot cheaper, those creams, than the retinol creams. Okay. Any questions out there for the skincare until we go to the next segment?
You can go to the next segment. There's no questions.
All right. Well, let's go to the next segment, and that is green living. And let me go. Okay. Now, we all use air fresheners, right? I mean, air fresheners, especially if you have pets, you use we spray the stuff and it's advertised everywhere, and we put it up, and we have the stick on kind and the spray kind, and even the automatic one. Whenever you walk by, it sprays into the air. Well, let me tell you, most people do not know that they are poisoning themselves and the wider environment with those air fresheners. And if you have pets, you poison them for sure. Because what these air fresheners do is they coat the inside of your nostrils with a coating that fools your brain into thinking that the smell has gone. And for those air fresheners that claim to kill bacteria, our bacteria paranoia is leading us to kill the good bacteria with the bad. So while an antibacterial air freshener have the place, they should really be limited to a hospital environment in most cases. And there they apparently don't work that well because there's a lot of MRSA and a lot of bad bacteria in the hospitals. Many of these air fresheners contain, and that may surprise you, formaldehyde, a known carcinogen, phenol, and a skin and nervous system irritant, petroleum distillates such as butane and propane, butanonic acid, it's a neurotoxin, and it disrupts the endocrine system, and a nitropolysilicate mask linked to cancer and hormone disruption. Why do you think we have so much cancer? We spray it into the environment, we spray it on our food, and we are going overboard with all of this. I mean, I rather have the occasional cold than this constant antibacterial aggression. And added to all that, the non-recyclable or reusable packaging of these products, is really bad for our environment. Millions of spray cans and plastic bottles hitting our landfill each year, not to mention the production of chemical ingredients and the packaging. Much better making your own. And here again, you can make your own in a very easy way. One way, if you want to have a very pleasant smell in your home because, I don't know, you just like to have more of a pleasant smell in your home, use incense. Incense sticks, you can burn those, and they do a fabulous trick. And you know what? They make now incense that doesn't smell like incense. It smells like, the ocean wave and so on. Just look around. Most of the the markets, like flea markets or the outdoor markets, there's always somebody who sells incense. And many of the natural food stores now sell them too. They have lavender and orange and very beautiful things. I use that only in my spa. I don't ever use the sprays. What you can also do is you can put some salt into half of an orange. Fill it halfway with salt after you've taken the flesh out of the orange, and put that in there and leave that in the bathroom. The salt is very good for the environment because it evaporates. The phenols, the oils from the orange, make it evaporate, and the smell is a nice, fresh, orangey smell. That's the great alternative. Another thing you can do is you can take half a teaspoon of natural vanilla extract in a small container in your home. And either if you have a wood stove, you can put it in a small container. You can put some cinnamon in there too. I do that often. And put it on your wood stove. It evaporates. But you don't have to put heat under it. It does evaporate by itself. So you can just put small containers around the house, and it gives the house a nice smell. Potpourri is another one I'm sure that you know. And of course, baking soda, the old time favorite. I use baking soda every time that I use litter box. I'm sure you do too. And so we know that already. We can also spray baking soda. And if you put, you know, put in a spray bottle, put like a tablespoon of baking soda, put water on it. And what I do is I put a little bit of essential oil in there, shake it real well, and then spray it around. Cheap and works like a charm. Try it. You'll see you'll like it. So,
Gisela,
yes?
uh, Janet in the chat is saying, my dog is very itchy for years.
Yeah.
There are homeopathic solutions. What do
Yes.
you think would be the steps to try to alleviate the itching?
Ah, well, one of them, how often do you bathe your dog? She have because
She's
that yes?
well, no, she's not answering yet. But in the
Yeah.
meantime,
Well, if you
uh,
bathe your dog very often, if it's a small dog and you bathe your dog very often, and you use um, commercial soaps, use green soap, use a soap that does not have a lot of additives. That's
okay,
one.
she's
That's
saying it's a big dog, and she's doing it about every 6 to 7 weeks.
that's a little bit too much. Do not bathe your dog as often. If you do bathe your dog, or you need to because it's a big dog, he sleeps with you in the bed,
She
you know, he has a lot of doggy odor, use oatmeal to bathe your oatmeal soap,
sh-
oatmeal,
she's saying
yes?
that the dog goes to the groomer.
Uh-uh. Tell the groomer that the soap that they are using, you don't want that. Bring your own soap. Bring your own. Either buy a commercial oatmeal soap or make one. But every 6 to 8 weeks is a little bit too much. My dogs, they're small and they all sleep with me. They get brushed more often. They do not get bathed. They get bathed like maybe about 5 to 6 times a year. Okay, so do not. Many people over bathe their dogs because they dry this. That dries the skin terribly. Whatever you use. Another thing is what you can use is look at the food that you're feeding. Many of the foods have, it's often an allergic reaction. Many of the foods do not bring itching about. Homeopathic treatments are, if the dog has odor, try sulfur 30C. Sulfur 30C is against itchiness and also against odor, but only if the dog has a lot of odor. If the dog does not have a lot of odor, then you can try. You know, there are other reasons why a dog is very itchy, but those are the main reasons: bathing and food. Now, there could also be some reasons in your environment, in the home, what kind of carpet you have, what kind of flooring you have. That sometimes is a problem with animals. I mean, we just heard there was in California this liquidator who was using these laminate floors. They were cancerous from China. Well, you think they're only cancerous to us? No, animals too. So that can happen. Many of the rugs that we have in our homes, they can produce itching. So start with the bathing first, changing the shampoos, then go If that doesn't work, change foods. As you all know, I believe in raw foods. Uh, and there's one, a body that serves it right there. You don't even have to chop yourself. You can just buy that, defrost it, and feed it every day. Works great. I do it. Um, and then once you eliminated all of those, try sulfur or arsenicum. Arsenicum also works well with itching, but arsenicum, you have to have different things yet happening. The animal has to be restless, more so. Um, has to, the itching is more at night really than in the daytime. So, if you have questions on that, email me. It's free, Janet. I will answer you. Okay. Anything else?
She's asking, how would you eliminate allergens in foods? I guess you answer it by changing the food, right? I mean, because you don't have a
Yeah, you
way.
have to change the food.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, I feed totally raw with no additives. I mean, it's pure meat, ground up meat that is comprised of innards and beef. There's not chicken in there. I don't really believe, I have found that chicken often, it's not even that good for us. We decided at one point, well, chicken was the best thing to eat because it has the least amount of fat and so on. But you know what? Chickens get, especially the commercial, I mean, unless you raise your own and eat them too. Um, Chicken meat has a lot of chemicals. They spray this after, even if after it's killed. They don't just feed it. After it's killed, it's sprayed with all kinds of chemicals to keep the chicken fresh. Because our food chain is a long food chain. Often our meats come from far away, and they are cooled, but they make sure that they don't have spoilage. So chicken is not such a great thing to eat constantly and to feed our animals. And chicken byproducts certainly not. But if you look on the ingredient listing of your food, you very likely could find where the allergies are. What kind of dog is it, Janet?
And while she's answering,
Yes.
another question is, what do you suggest for toenail fungus?
Wow, that's a toughie. Is it an old toenail fungus or is it a newer one?
And Janet's saying that it's a shepherd.
It's a shepherd. Yeah, brush the shepherd a lot. Don't take the shepherd to be groomed that much. Okay, you are getting rid of all the natural oils that keep the skin supple and itch free, especially shepherds. But you have to brush them a lot. Unfortunately, it's a labor intensive dog, one of the best dogs in the world. I used to have a German shepherd. We loved her to death. She lived to be 18, and she was the love of my husband's life. But let me tell you, when she died, at times I missed her, but I
Sure.
also missed her a little less when I looked at my floor and everywhere, because now I didn't have all these balls of hair flying all over the room. Even though I'm not an insane cleaner, I'm really not, and I'm not. I have always had animals, so I mean, you have to let go of a little bit when you have animals, but it was at times, especially in the spring and in the fall, it was insane. So yeah, brush them,
All right.
brush
She
the
says
dog.
she says okay, and then the answer for old or new
Fungus?
fungus, it's old. And Janet says that she agrees with you, but
Yeah,
it's old.
yeah. Okay. Now the older fungus, there are many things that you can do. If it has the entire nail, it is very difficult to treat. One thing I would want you to stay away from is that you have the prescription that doctors give you, because that prescription, I don't know, recall right now the name of it, but all of these prescription, they attack the liver. And you have to go for blood test if you take these prescription fungus
Yeah, it's
treatments.
not worth it for that.
No, I don't think it would be. You can use vinegar and baking soda. You can use, I mean, I've even heard of somebody who used a small dropper with Clorox and put it on onto the toenail. You have to be diligent. You have to do it every day. Try it. If it does work, garlic oil works great against fungus. Garlic oil. Make garlic oil by macerating 4 or 5 cloves of garlic and a little bit of olive oil, and apply that every day. Works great. Works great for any kind of fungus. If it will work for this one, I don't know, but try it. Those are remedies that are relatively safe, and they have been known to work for others.
Okay.
So, those things are able to. Talking more about pets, our new spring at one point has to come here. I mean, we all are cheerful and we all believe that strongly, unless our world and our earth has tilted itself so that it decided to make the East Coast now the new North Pole. But I mean, it today it is the wind chill out there is like 20. It's really insane. But when we do get spring again, guess what we get again too? Is fleas, ticks, heartworm, all of those little critters. Now, hopefully, some of the ticks have been destroyed by this fierce winter we had. But everywhere else where there was not such a bad freeze as we had, the ticks will definitely come back and the fleas will come back. Now, we've talked about that before, and you know my view. If your pet is healthy, very likely it will not get attacked as easily by fleas or by ticks. And I had an email from one of you asking me, what do I do for heartworm? And can I use, apparently, black walnut is right now the rage. Please don't use that. Please, please, please don't use that, because black walnut is highly poisonous. And we know our pets lick themselves. And so we do not want to subject them to black walnut. Here are a few things that you can do. If you leave your pet outside in the summer and in the spring, we do want to give our pets the ability to be outside. If you have a garden or a run, put around the perimeters of the garden or the run incense sticks. and light them in the evening because, as you know, heartworm comes from mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes come in the evening, right? Most of the mosquitoes come when the ground is still a little moist. Outside it is warm, the mosquitoes rise and they start feeding. They are little vampires that come out in the evening. So the incense with citronella will keep those mosquitoes away. We have all summer long in the evening, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we go out and we put out on our flares all around our deck. And I have on the lower part, I have these incense, citronella incense sticks. And we put those on. 3 or 4 is usually enough for an 8 by 6 or 10 by 8. You might need 4 or 5 of these incense sticks. And they are not that expensive, and they certainly are not poisonous. They will keep your pets free of any kind of, and you yourself, of the mosquitoes. The other one that you can use inside the house is eucalyptus. You can spray eucalyptus all over, and eucalyptus is really quite inexpensive. Again, here, what you can do is baking soda, water, eucalyptus into a spray bottle, spray everything. It will not ruin your furniture. It will keep the house smelling nicely. The fleas really don't like that. And you can even spray your pet with it. Will you eliminate them completely? It's doubtful, unless you use one of the commercial flea or repellents like Frontline or any of those, which I don't agree with at all because they are neurotoxins. And if they can kill a flea, they can harm your pet. That's all there is to it. If you're really infested, you may have no other choice. But before you get infested, try those tricks. It works here. Dimaceous earth is another one that you can put if you have carpeting in your house. Sprinkle, and you can buy it very inexpensively, a whole big jar of dimaceous earth for like $10 or $20. It will treat a mansion. And just sprinkle it, put it into a salt shaker, large salt shaker. Sprinkle it all over your rugs. After you vacuumed, vacuum every day afterwards, more dimaceous earth. It will get rid of the fleas. You can even treat your appliance, your upholstery with it. But you do have to vacuum every day. Well,
Okay, let's see. Wait, hold it. I guess that is about the nail fungus. What about cornmeal mush soaks?
I haven't heard that one.
Okay. All right.
That one I haven't heard. Try it.
And
what do you have to lose?
BBK is saying, I heard you have a new skin cream. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I do. And I make these skin, like I said in the beginning when we had the beauty segment, I make them to the individual's needs, but I also have one, it's called My Secret, and it's a cream that I use for my face. And it has some very advanced ingredients, like, for instance, Matrixol 3000, which is an ingredient that really lifts the skin. Another one is DMEA, which transports the cream into the skin, because without getting into the skin, it cannot do any good. So if you are interested on that, go to the beauty group .org, and there's a description on that. The cream right now, while we are advertising it for like another month or two, sells for only $35. It's 1.5 ounces. It really works. It works immediately. You see results immediately. And if you use it for 2 weeks, I can guarantee you your skin, any kind of wrinkles, lines, sagginess. I mean, unless, you know, I mean, if you have sagginess where your jowls are down here, it may take a little longer than 2 weeks. But if you are aging normally and you just want to look fresher and younger in a shorter amount of time, this is the ticket. Thank you, Bibi,
And
for asking that.
I missed one. Deb was asking when you were talking about incense. She said no artificial chemicals in incense.
Well, most of them don't have artificial chemicals. You have to look of what's in there. Like again, we always we all have to make it a point to read the labels. I don't care what you buy. If you buy butter, if you buy milk, anything, read the labels. If you see ingredients that do not look natural, put it down, buy another. Do not buy those. Now, I'm not against all chemicals because some of those are made really for our benefit. But in incense, there should be no chemicals. There shouldn't be. I
Okay.
mean, there is some to make them burn, but it's a type of a sulfur, that the same kind of stuff that we have in matches.
And Janet, talking about the cream, she says, "Is this a cream that you can use daily? At what?"
Yes, you use it morning and evening.
Okay, and then she adds, "At what age would a woman want to use this cream?"
Over 30. Over 30. Anything under 30, I have something else. But this cream is definitely for over 30. And if you're in your 80s, your result will be less dramatic. Up to about 65, your result will really be, as I said, within 2 weeks, you will see a definite result. And look at my skin. I mean, I'm here, sitting here, and I am not ashamed to tell you I'm over 70, way over 70. I've been in this business for over 40 years. I've treated my skin always gloriously. So it shows, and I would like you all to benefit from my knowledge too. I have more knowledge than just pets.
She's Jennifer. Janet is saying, "Okay, no problem for the over 30."
Okay, great. Yeah, but see, that is exactly it. You do want to treat, and none. As you know, I'm pre. I do exactly as I preach. I do not tell you anything that I don't do myself, and I don't really sell anything. The reason why I mentioned the cream here is because somebody asked for it, and I do believe that I have something for a price that is affordable, that is really great. So why shouldn't I tell you about it? But that is not how I make my money. And you guys know that when I tell you something, I have researched it. And like I said, I do it myself. I've been
Okay.
in this natural health and beauty and pet business. Well, the pet, I have always been. And most of the things that we do for ourselves, we do want to do for our pets also. The only time when that differs is in food, regarding food. Please, all of your vegetarians out there, don't subject your pets to vegetarian diet. They cannot, they will not thrive on it. Giving them a carrot or a zucchini once in a while, that's just great. That's perfect. But they are meat eaters. Dogs and cats are meat eaters. They are not vegetarians. Their digestive system is made differently than ours. So we have to, if you want to own a dog or a cat, you have to feed them what their system requires. And that is meat. You will never see a dog go in the garden and eat blueberries or berries or tomato or they will eat grass, but usually because it tastes good. They have also acquired over the years some, and sometimes it's because their digestive system is a little bit out of sorts. I see more dogs and cats more so. Cats love grass, they love green stuff once in a while. But I've seen them more when you feed them the commercial foods, the commercial dog food and pet food. My dogs hardly ever eat grass because, like I said, I feed them art and species the way they should be fed. Tripe, heart, you can even liver and kidneys. Once in a while, even when we have fish, we give them fish, not raw fish, cooked. I make a little extra for them where there's no spices. And it works. Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope.
Well, what a pleasure it was today talking to you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I love this show. I hope you do too. And I hope that you join me next Sunday again. And please keep the questions coming. I love to answer it. It's my Sunday pleasure brunch with you all. All right? Cheers. Have a great Sunday and a terrific week. Bye for now.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCBVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.